What if I told you that everything you think you know about leadership is wrong? For too long, we've been fed a myth that leaders are born, not made. That they're the people with the loudest voices, the biggest titles, and the corner offices. But what if the most powerful acts of leadership happen quietly, every single day, in your own backyard? This is a story about the janitor who led his school to become the heart of the community. It's about the team member who, without a title, transformed a struggling project. It's about the parent who guides their family with courage and wisdom. This isn't a book about how to get a promotion. It's a book about how to become a person who inspires trust, solves problems with creativity, and builds meaningful connections, whether you're leading a company, a team, a family, or just yourself. Inside these chapters, you will discover that you don't need an invitation to start leading. The potential is already within you. You just need the essential skills to unlock it. So, if you're ready to stop waiting for someone else to step up, and if you're ready to discover the leader you were always meant to be, then let's begin. Before we dive into Chapter 1, please take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel, EchoLib. Your support helps us bring more inspiring content to you. Welcome to the Making of a Leader, Essential Skills for Everyone. Chapter 1, The Leader Within. Before we can lead anyone else, we must first understand the leader within ourselves. For many of us, this is the most challenging step because we've spent years convincing ourselves that leadership isn't our role. Maybe you think you're too quiet, too junior, or too busy to be a leader. The goal of this chapter is to dismantle those beliefs and show you that you have more leadership potential than you ever realized. Discovering your leadership potential. Every single person listening to this has the capacity to lead. Leadership is not a job title, it's a choice. It's the moment you speak up for a new idea, the moment you encourage a teammate, or the moment you take responsibility for a mistake. The key difference between managing and leading is that managing is about directing tasks and processes, while leading is about inspiring and influencing people. Think about leadership in everyday situations. At home, you lead when you create a schedule to get chores done, organize a family event, or help a family member through a difficult time. In your community, you lead when you organize a block party, volunteer for a local cause, or simply reach out to a new neighbor. At work, you lead when you take the initiative to solve a problem without being asked, mentor a new colleague, or facilitate a difficult conversation in a meeting. These are all acts of leadership. They don't require a special title or permission. They just require you to step up. Common leadership myths debunked. To truly embrace your potential, we must first tear down the walls of common leadership myths. Myth number 1, leaders are born, not made. This is perhaps the most damaging myth of all. While some people may have a natural inclination towards certain traits, leadership is a set of skills and habits that are learned, practiced, and developed over time. No one is born with the ability to give a compelling speech or navigate a crisis. They learn these skills, just as you will. Myth number 2, you need authority to lead. Influence is far more powerful than authority. We've all seen a manager with a title who no one respects, and a colleague without a title who everyone follows. The second person is the true leader. Leadership is about influencing others toward a common goal, not about giving orders. Myth number 3, leaders must be extroverts. Introverts are some of the most effective leaders. They are often thoughtful, excellent listeners, and can lead by example with quiet confidence. They don't need to be the center of attention to be a force for change. Your natural personality is a strength, not a weakness. Your leadership starting point. Now that we've debunked the myths, let's find your personal leadership starting point. A great leader knows their strengths, weaknesses, and what they value. Take a moment to reflect on these questions. What are 3 things you are genuinely good at? What is one area you would like to improve? What values are most important to you? What do you stand for? As we move forward, we will come back to these questions. The first step is to simply get to know yourself as a potential leader. This is not about judgment, it is about honest self-reflection. Action steps: personal leadership audit. Your first task is to begin your personal leadership audit. You don't need to write anything down just yet, but start paying attention to your daily life with a new perspective. For the next 24 hours, actively look for and make note of any small moments where you act as a leader, no matter how small. Did you help a stranger with directions? Did you resolve a minor disagreement between two friends? Did you offer an idea in a meeting? These are all data points for your audit. Your leadership journey has already begun. You just didn't have the language for it. Chapter 2, Self-Awareness, the Foundation Stone. In the last chapter, we began to see the leader within ourselves. Now, we're going to give that leader a clear map. Before you can lead others, you must first know yourself. This isn't just about a simple self-assessment, it's about a deep, honest understanding of who you are, what drives you, and how you show up in the world. Self-awareness is the foundation stone upon which all other leadership skills are built. Know yourself first. True leadership begins with an inventory of your internal world. This means taking an honest look at your values, strengths, and weaknesses. Your values are your guiding principles, the things you stand for, like integrity, compassion, or innovation. Your strengths are the things you do well, effortlessly, and your weaknesses are the areas that drain your energy or hold you back. The process of self-reflection is an ongoing conversation with yourself. It's about asking, why did I react that way, or what about this task makes me feel energized? The more you understand yourself, the better equipped you are to lead from a place of authenticity and purpose. Emotional self-awareness. Beyond just your skills and values, a great leader is in tune with their emotional landscape. Emotional self-awareness is the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions and their effects on your thoughts and behavior. It's about being aware when you feel stress or frustration bubbling up and understanding why that is happening. When you're emotionally aware, you can manage your reactions under pressure. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can choose a calm, measured response. This not only benefits you but also creates a stable, predictable environment for those you lead. Values-based leadership. The most inspiring leaders are those who act in complete alignment with their core values. When your words and actions are a direct reflection of your principles, you build trust and credibility. People don't just follow your instructions, they follow your lead because they believe in what you stand for. To lead from this place of authenticity, you must first define your core values. Ask yourself, what are the 3 most important things in my life? What are the non-negotiables? Once you have them, you can use these values as a compass for every decision you make, from how you treat a colleague to what projects you take on. Tools for self-discovery. Self-awareness isn't a destination, it's a practice. Here are some simple tools you can use to develop it. Daily reflection. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to think about one moment when you felt proud and one moment when you felt challenged. Ask yourself why. Feedback gathering. Actively seek feedback from trusted friends, family, or colleagues. Ask them, what's one thing I do well, and what's one thing I could do better? Personality assessments. Tools like the Myers-Briggs or the Enneagram can provide a framework for understanding your natural tendencies and communication style. Action steps. Create your personal values statement. Your task for this chapter is to create your personal values statement. Take 15 minutes to reflect on the core principles that matter most to you. Write a short, simple statement that defines who you are and what you stand for as a person and as a leader. This will be your compass for the rest of this journey. Chapter 3, Building Authentic Confidence. In the last chapter, we laid the foundation of self-awareness. Now that you're getting to know the leader within, it's time to give that leader a voice and a presence. This is where we build authentic confidence. This isn't about being loud or boastful, it's about having a deep-seated belief in your own value and ability. Authentic confidence allows you to step up and lead without needing to prove yourself to anyone. Confidence versus arrogance. There is a fine line between confidence and arrogance, and a true leader knows the difference. Confidence is an internal belief in your own competence. It's quiet, humble, and grounded. It comes from knowing your strengths and accepting your weaknesses. A confident person doesn't need to dominate a conversation, their presence is enough. Arrogance is an external mask used to cover insecurity. It's loud, fragile, and often dismissive of others. An arrogant person needs to be the smartest person in the room and can't admit when they're wrong. To lead with confidence, not arrogance, is to be secure enough in your own abilities that you can celebrate the wins of others and learn from your own mistakes without losing self-assurance. Overcoming imposter syndrome. Many of us, no matter our achievements, have felt like a fraud at one time or another. This feeling is known as imposter syndrome, and it's a common barrier to building confidence. It's the feeling that you're not good enough, that you got here by luck, and that you will be found out at any moment. To overcome imposter syndrome, you must recognize the signs. Just naming the feeling can take away its power. Acknowledge your achievements, keep a list of your wins, big and small. Did you successfully complete a tough project? Did you help a friend through a difficult time? Celebrate these moments and remind yourself that you are capable. Build genuine confidence. The more you lean into the skills we're developing in this book, the more you will know, in your bones, that your success is a result of your effort and your abilities. The growth mindset advantage. One of the most powerful ways to build confidence is by adopting a growth mindset. This is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. With a growth mindset, you don't view a challenge as a test of your fixed intelligence, you see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Embrace challenges. Instead of avoiding difficult tasks, seek them out. Each challenge is a chance to expand your comfort zone. Learn from failure. When things don't go as planned, a growth mindset helps you see it not as a personal failure, but as a lesson. You don't say, "I'm not good at this." You say, "What can I learn from this to do better next time?" Speaking and acting with authority. Confidence isn't just an internal feeling, it's also a way of being. Your body language, voice, and presence all communicate a message to the world. To act with authority, you don't need to change who you are, you simply need to make sure your actions align with your intentions. Body language fundamentals: stand tall, make eye contact, and use open gestures. This signals that you are comfortable and in control. Voice projection and tone: speak from your diaphragm, not your throat. A confident voice is not necessarily loud, but it is clear and steady. Presence in any room: it's not about taking up space, but about occupying the space you're in fully. This comes from being present, listening, and contributing thoughtfully. Action steps: confidence building daily practices. Your task for this chapter is to practice one daily confidence building action for the next 7 days. Choose a practice that feels right for you. 1. The proud of list. At the end of each day, write down one thing you are genuinely proud of accomplishing. 2. The power pose. Before a meeting or challenging conversation, stand tall for 2 minutes with your hands on your hips or your arms in the air. 3. One brave act. Each day, do one thing that takes a small amount of courage. This could be speaking up in a meeting, asking a difficult question, or introducing yourself to someone new. By practicing these steps, you will begin to build confidence from the inside out. Chapter 4: Communication that Inspires. In the previous chapters, we discovered the leader within and began to build authentic confidence. Now, it's time to give that leader a voice. Communication is arguably the most vital skill for any leader. It's the tool you use to build trust, resolve conflict, and rally people around a shared vision. A leader doesn't just talk, a leader communicates with a purpose. This chapter will teach you how to turn your words and listening into a powerful force for influence and inspiration. The art of clear communication. It's a common misconception that great communicators use big words and complicated sentences. The opposite is true. The most effective communicators are masters of clarity. They can take a complex idea and distill it into a message that anyone can understand. Simplify complex ideas. Think about a doctor explaining a diagnosis, or a programmer explaining a technical bug. A great communicator can break down a topic into simple, digestible pieces. Your goal is not to show how smart you are, but to ensure your message is received. Choose the right words for your audience. The way you talk to a colleague is different from how you talk to a client, and different again from how you talk to your child. Understand who you are speaking to and tailor your language, tone, and examples accordingly. The power of storytelling. Facts and figures inform, but stories inspire. People remember narratives. Whether you're trying to share a company's mission or a personal lesson, a short, compelling story will always land with more impact than a list of bullet points. Active listening mastery. Communication is a two-way street, and one half of it is often overlooked: listening. Most of us listen to reply, not to understand. We're already formulating our response while the other person is still speaking. A truly inspiring leader listens to truly hear. Listen to understand, not to respond. When someone is talking, silence your internal monologue. Focus entirely on their words, their tone, and their body language. Wait until they are finished before you even begin to think about your reply. Read between the lines. Pay attention to nonverbal cues. A person's body language, a shrug, a frown, crossed arms, can tell you more than their words. Create safe spaces for open dialogue. By listening without judgment, you create an environment where people feel safe to speak their minds. This is how you discover the real issues and uncover innovative solutions. Difficult conversations. As a leader, you will inevitably face challenging discussions. You might need to give constructive feedback, mediate a conflict, or address a performance issue. These conversations don't have to be dreadful. Prepare for challenging discussions. Don't go into a difficult conversation unprepared. Think about what you want to say, how the other person might react, and what a positive outcome looks like. Stay calm under pressure. The other person might get emotional or defensive. Your job is to stay calm and grounded. Breathe, and remember that your goal is to find a solution, not to win an argument. Find win-win solutions. The best difficult conversations end with both parties feeling heard and a path forward that benefits everyone. Look for common ground and focus on collaborative solutions, not one-sided demands. Inspiring through words. This is where the magic happens. A leader can make a task feel like a mission and a goal feel like a quest. It's not just about the message, it's about the delivery. Motivational speaking techniques. Even if it's just in a small meeting, use your voice and body to convey enthusiasm and conviction. Vary your pitch, pause for emphasis, and make eye contact. Painting a compelling vision. Great leaders don't just talk about what we're doing, they talk about why. They connect the day-to-day tasks to a bigger purpose. Paint a picture of the future that people want to be a part of. Using language that energizes others. Replace negative or passive language with active, empowering words. Instead of, "we have to do this," say, "we get to do this." Use words like challenge, opportunity, and together. Digital age communication. In today's world, a significant amount of communication happens through screens. Leading effectively in the digital realm requires its own set of skills. Leading through emails and messages. Be clear and concise. Use proper grammar and proofread your messages. An email can set the tone for an entire project, so make sure yours is helpful and positive. Virtual meeting leadership. In a virtual meeting, it's easier to lose a room. Be intentional about calling on people, using visual aids, and encouraging participation. Social media presence for leaders. A professional online presence can be a powerful tool for building your personal brand and connecting with your network. Action steps: Communication Skills Practice Plan. Your task for this chapter is to practice one of the communication skills we've discussed for the next 7 days. Choose a skill that feels most challenging to you. 1. The one-question rule. In every conversation, challenge yourself to listen for a full 30 seconds before responding. Then, instead of giving a statement, ask a single clarifying question. 2. The simplify it challenge. Take a complex topic from your work or personal life and explain it to a friend or family member who knows nothing about it. Your goal is to make it crystal clear. 3. The no filler week. Pay attention to how often you use filler words like, and, you know. Catch yourself and try to replace them with a purposeful pause. By practicing these steps, you will begin to build confidence from the inside out. Chapter 5. Emotional Intelligence in Action. In the last chapter, we talked about how to use your voice to inspire others. But words are only part of the equation. True leadership happens when you connect with people on a deeper level, and that requires understanding emotions, your own, and those of others. This is the essence of emotional intelligence, or EQ. It's the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions, and to recognize, understand, and influence the emotions of those around you. Understanding emotional intelligence. For a long time, we were told that a person's intelligence was measured by their IQ, but we now know that emotional intelligence is a far better predictor of success and leadership. It's not about being overly emotional, it's about being smart with your emotions. EQ has 4 main domains. Self-awareness, knowing your own emotions, strengths, weaknesses, and values. Self-management, controlling your impulsive feelings and behaviors. Social awareness, understanding the emotions, needs, and concerns of others. Relationship management, using your awareness of your own and others' emotions to build strong relationships. Think of it this way, your IQ might get you the job, but your EQ will determine if you succeed in it. Managing your emotions. Emotions can be powerful, but they don't have to control you. A key part of emotional intelligence is learning to stay calm and focused, even when faced with stress or crisis. Stress management techniques. When you feel stress, your body's stress response can take over. Counteract this with simple techniques like deep breathing, taking a walk, or simply stepping away from the situation for a few moments to gain perspective. Staying composed in crisis. In a crisis, your team will look to you to set the tone. If you are calm, they will remain calm. Your ability to manage your emotions under pressure builds immense trust and credibility. Channeling emotions productively. Emotions like anger or frustration don't have to be destructive. You can channel them into productive action. For example, instead of getting angry at a setback, use that energy to focus on finding a solution. Reading others effectively. In a conversation, only 7% of communication is verbal. The rest comes from body language and tone of voice. An emotionally intelligent leader has an uncanny ability to read others. Nonverbal communication cues. Pay attention to a person's posture, gestures, and facial expressions. A person who says they're fine but has crossed arms and a tense jaw might be trying to hide something. Understanding different personality types. Not everyone communicates in the same way. By observing people, you can begin to recognize different communication styles and adapt your approach to connect with them more effectively. Building emotional connections. Leadership is a relationship. It's about inspiring people to follow you because they want to, not because they have to. This happens when you create strong emotional bonds. Creating trust and rapport. Be present and genuine. Listen with empathy, show you care about their problems, and be open about your own challenges. Showing genuine empathy. Empathy is not about feeling sorry for someone, it's about trying to understand their perspective. Instead of saying, "I understand," try saying, "That sounds incredibly frustrating." Supporting others through challenges. A true leader is there for their team during tough times. Your support and understanding can be a powerful motivator. Conflict resolution skills. Conflict is a normal part of any relationship, but it's how you handle it that defines you as a leader. De-escalation techniques. When a conflict is getting heated, your first job is to bring the temperature down. Use a calm tone, listen without interrupting, and validate the other person's feelings. Finding common ground. Most conflicts are not about right and wrong, but about different needs. Find the shared goal or common need and build from there. Mediating between opposing sides. If you're mediating a conflict between others, be a neutral third party. Your job is not to choose a side, but to help each person understand the other's perspective and find a compromise. Action steps, EQ development exercises. Your task for this chapter is to practice one of the following emotional intelligence exercises for the next 7 days. 1. The emotion journal. At the end of each day, write down 3 emotions you felt and what triggered them. This helps you recognize your emotional patterns. 2. The perspective shift. The next time you find yourself in a disagreement, take a moment to pause and mentally put yourself in the other person's shoes. What might they be feeling or thinking that you aren't seeing? 3. The empathy practice. Each day, choose one person you interact with, a coworker, a friend, a family member, and consciously try to understand their day from their perspective. Ask them, "How are you really doing?" and genuinely listen to the answer. By practicing these steps, you will begin to build emotional intelligence from the inside out. Chapter 6: Decision-Making and Problem-Solving. After a long journey of self-discovery, building confidence, and honing your emotional intelligence, you're now ready to move from understanding to action. The heart of leadership is making effective decisions and solving problems. This is where your skills truly come into play, not just for you, but for the people you lead. A good leader doesn't avoid difficult decisions, they face them with clarity and courage. The leader's decision-making framework. Making a good decision isn't a random event, it's a process. Having a clear framework to follow will help you navigate complex situations and make choices you can stand by. Gather relevant information. Don't rush into a decision without all the facts. Take the time to collect data, get input from different sources, and understand the full scope of the situation. Weigh pros and cons systematically. Create a list of the potential benefits and drawbacks of each option. This helps you move past your gut feeling and make a more objective choice. Consider long-term consequences. A great decision today that creates a huge problem a year from now isn't a great decision. Think about the ripple effects of your choice on your team, your organization, and your future goals. Making decisions under pressure. Leaders often have to make tough calls with limited time and information. In these moments, your ability to remain calm and focused, a skill we discussed in the last chapter, becomes essential. Quick decision-making strategies. When time is short, focus on the most critical information. You don't need every piece of the puzzle to move forward. Look for the 3 to 5 most important data points that will give you the clearest picture. When to decide fast versus when to deliberate. Not all decisions are created equal. Is this a reversible decision? If so, you can often afford to act quickly and adjust later. Is this a permanent, high-impact choice? Then it's worth taking the time to deliberate. Learning from decision outcomes. A decision is not a final judgment on your worth. It's a data point. Whether the outcome is positive or negative, take the time to reflect. What went right? What could you have done differently? Creative problem solving. As a leader, your job isn't just to solve problems, but to create an environment where others can solve them too. This means encouraging creativity and thinking outside the box. Thinking outside the box. Challenge assumptions and look for unconventional solutions. Sometimes the best answer isn't the most obvious one. Encouraging innovative solutions. Give your team the space to experiment and fail safely. Innovation rarely happens in an environment where people are afraid to try something new. Building on others' ideas. When someone offers a suggestion, don't shoot it down. Instead, use phrases like, yes, and. Or, that's a great start. What if we also considered? This builds a culture of collaboration and innovation. Risk assessment and management. Every decision, big or small, comes with some level of risk. A confident leader doesn't shy away from risk, they manage it. Calculating acceptable risks. The goal is not to eliminate all risk, but to understand it. Ask yourself, what is the worst-case scenario, and can we live with it? Preparing for potential outcomes. Once you've identified the risks, create a backup plan. Knowing you have a plan B will give you the confidence to move forward with plan A. Learning from failures. When a risk doesn't pay off, it's not a failure, it's a lesson. Use that experience to refine your future risk assessment and management skills. Involving others in decisions. Leadership isn't about making all the decisions yourself. In fact, some of the best leaders are those who know when to involve others. When to seek input versus when to decide alone. In a crisis, you may need to act alone. But for most decisions, seeking input from your team can lead to better outcomes and a greater sense of ownership. Building consensus effectively. When you involve others, your job is not to force a decision, but to guide the group toward a solution that everyone can get behind. This often involves a mix of listening, mediating, and clear communication. Communicating decisions clearly. Once a decision is made, you must communicate it clearly to everyone involved. Explain the reasoning behind the choice and the next steps. This ensures everyone is on the same page and can move forward with confidence. Action steps, decision-making improvement plan. For this chapter, your task is to practice one of the following decision-making exercises for the next 7 days. Choose a practice that feels most challenging to you. 1. The 2-column method. For every major decision you face, create a simple 2-column list. Label one column pros and the other cons. Write down all the potential outcomes. This forces you to think systematically. 2. The advice game. Before making a decision, mentally ask yourself, what would a trusted mentor or friend tell me to do? This can give you a fresh perspective. 3. The 5-year test. Before making a high-impact decision, ask yourself, will I regret this choice in 5 years? If the answer is yes, it's worth re-evaluating. By practicing these steps, you will begin to build emotional intelligence from the inside out. Chapter 7. Building Trust and Influence. We've now built a solid foundation. You've mastered the leader within, cultivated your confidence, and learned to make effective decisions. But none of these skills matter if you can't inspire others to follow you. True leadership isn't about power or position, it's about influence. And the currency of influence is trust. In this chapter, we will explore how to build and maintain trust, and how to use that trust to lead effectively, even without formal authority. The trust equation. Trust isn't something you just have, it's something you build. It can be broken down into a simple equation. Trust equals credibility plus reliability plus intimacy / self-interest. Let's unpack each part. Credibility. This is about your words. Are you knowledgeable? Do you have integrity? Do you say what you mean and mean what you say? When you have high credibility, people believe what you say. Reliability. This is about your actions. Do you follow through on your promises? Can people depend on you to do what you say you will do? When you are reliable, people know they can count on you. Intimacy. This is about emotional connection. Are you a good listener? Do you show empathy and compassion? Do you share your own struggles and triumphs? Intimacy builds a personal connection that goes beyond the professional. Self-interest. This is the denominator, and it works against you. The more a person perceives that you are acting for your own benefit, the less they will trust you. It's not about being selfless, but about making sure your intentions are clear and aligned with the group's best interests. Remember, trust is built over time through small, consistent actions and can be broken in a single moment of betrayal. Influence without authority. The beauty of leadership is that you don't need a corner office or a title to influence people. As we've learned, leadership is for everyone. The psychology of influence. People are influenced by those they respect and admire, not just those they report to. You can influence your peers and even your superiors by offering value, sharing your expertise, and building strong relationships. 6 Principles of Persuasion. Robert Cialdini, a renowned psychologist, identified 6 principles of influence: reciprocity, commitment and consistency, social proof, liking, authority, and scarcity. Understanding these can help you better communicate and persuade in a positive and ethical way. Building your personal brand. Your personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. What do you want to be known for? Be intentional about the qualities you want to cultivate and how you present yourself to others. Leading by example. This is perhaps the most powerful and fundamental form of influence. People don't just listen to your words, they watch your actions. Walking the talk. If you expect your team to be on time, you must be on time. If you expect them to be honest, you must be honest. Your actions set the standard for everyone else. The ripple effect of your actions. Every decision you make and every behavior you exhibit sends a message. That message ripples out, influencing the behavior of those around you. Creating psychological safety. Psychological safety is the belief that you won't be punished or humiliated for speaking up with ideas, questions, or concerns. It's essential for innovation and strong team dynamics. Making others feel safe to speak up. Leaders create psychological safety by actively listening, showing appreciation for ideas, and admitting their own mistakes. Encouraging calculated risk-taking. You can't innovate without taking risks. A psychologically safe environment is one where people feel comfortable trying new things, even if they might fail. Learning from team failures together. When something goes wrong, a psychologically safe team doesn't point fingers. They work together to understand what happened and learn from the experience. Building your network. Your network is one of your most valuable assets, but only if you approach it correctly. It's not about what others can do for you, it's about what you can do for each other. Relationship building strategies. Be curious about other people. Ask questions, listen to their stories, and look for ways to help them without expecting anything in return. Maintaining professional connections. Don't just connect on LinkedIn and disappear. Stay in touch with people, celebrate their successes, and offer support when they're facing challenges. Mutual benefit networking. The strongest networks are built on mutual respect and shared interests. Find people you genuinely want to connect with and see where the relationship leads. Action steps, trust and influence assessment. For this chapter, your task is to practice one of the following exercises for the next 7 days. Choose a practice that feels most challenging to you. 1. The follow-through challenge. Identify one small promise you've made to someone, a colleague, a friend, or a family member. Go out of your way to follow through on that promise as soon as possible. 2. The ask for help exercise. Ask someone for their help or expertise on a task you're working on. This shows you value their input and can be a powerful way to build trust and rapport. 3. The observe a leader practice. For the next week, identify someone you admire as a leader. Pay close attention to how they communicate, how they build trust, and how they influence others. Take notes and reflect on what you can learn from their example. By consistently applying these steps, you will begin to build genuine trust and influence with everyone around you. Chapter 8: Motivating and Inspiring Others. In the last chapter, you learned that trust is the foundation of influence. Now we move from building trust to using it to create a powerful ripple effect, motivating and inspiring the people you lead. A good leader tells people what to do. A great leader inspires them to want to do it. This chapter will give you the tools to light a fire in others, not just tell them where to go. Understanding what drives people. You can't motivate someone until you understand what they truly care about. Everyone is different, and what energizes one person may leave another feeling cold. Different motivation styles. Some people are motivated by competition and achievement. Others are driven by a desire for security and stability. Still others find their purpose in helping others. Your job is to listen and observe to figure out what makes each person tick. Intrinsic versus extrinsic motivators. Extrinsic motivators are external rewards like money, titles, or praise. Intrinsic motivators come from within, such as a sense of purpose, a love for a challenge, or a desire for personal growth. While extrinsic motivators have their place, intrinsic motivators are far more powerful and sustainable. Personal motivation mapping for team members. Get to know your team members on a deeper level. Ask them what they're passionate about, what they want to learn, and what their personal goals are. Creating a compelling vision. People don't follow a plan, they follow a vision. A compelling vision is a clear, vivid picture of the future that inspires people to work toward a common goal. Painting the big picture. Don't just give people a list of tasks. Connect their work to a larger purpose. Help them see how their efforts contribute to the overall success of the team, the company, or the community. Making the vision relevant to individuals. A good vision feels personal. Show each team member how their specific skills and passions fit into the larger picture. Keeping the vision alive daily. A vision isn't something you talk about once and then forget. Remind your team of the vision regularly. Celebrate milestones and use the vision as a guide for daily decisions. Recognition and appreciation. One of the most powerful tools in a leader's toolkit is genuine recognition. It costs nothing, but its impact is priceless. The power of genuine recognition. Don't just say, "Good job." Be specific. Say, "I really appreciate how you stayed late to finish that project. It shows your commitment and made a huge difference." Different ways people like to be appreciated. Some people love public recognition. Others prefer a quiet, one-on-one thank you. Learn how each person on your team likes to receive appreciation and tailor your approach accordingly. Creating a culture of celebration. Make it a team habit to celebrate wins, big or small. This creates a positive and motivating environment where people feel valued. Empowering others to lead. The best leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders. By empowering others, you not only grow their skills but also multiply your own impact. Delegating effectively. Delegation is not just about offloading work. It's about giving others the opportunity to grow. Give them the responsibility and the authority to complete a task, then step back and let them do it. Developing others' leadership skills. Coach and mentor people on your team. Help them identify their own leadership potential and give them opportunities to practice their skills. Creating opportunities for growth. Look for chances to put people in positions where they can stretch themselves and take on new challenges. Dealing with difficult people. Leading is not always easy. Sooner or later, you'll have to deal with a person who challenges you, the team, or the vision. Understanding different personality challenges. Some people might be resistant to change, while others might be overly critical or negative. Try to understand the root cause of their behavior and address the underlying issue. Strategies for various difficult behaviors. Be firm but respectful. Set clear boundaries, stick to the facts, and don't get drawn into emotional arguments. When to persist versus when to let go. Some people can be a drain on your energy and the team's morale. In some cases, you have to make the difficult decision to let them go so the rest of the team can thrive. Action Steps, Motivation Strategies Toolkit. For this chapter, your task is to practice one of the following motivation exercises for the next 7 days. Choose a practice that feels most challenging to you. 1. The purpose conversation. have a one-on-one conversation with a team member and ask them what they enjoy most about their work and what their goals are. 2. The daily recognition habit. Every day this week, find one person to give a specific, genuine compliment or word of appreciation to. 3. The delegation challenge. Identify a small task you can delegate to someone on your team. Give them the full responsibility and resources to complete it, and then step back. By consistently applying these steps, you will become a more inspiring and effective leader. Chapter 9. Team Building and Collaboration. So far, we've focused on building the leader within. But leadership is not a solo sport. It's about bringing people together to achieve something greater than they could on their own. The most effective leaders are skilled at building and nurturing high-performing teams, creating environments where collaboration is not just possible, but natural and energizing. This chapter will provide you with the framework to turn a group of individuals into a cohesive, unstoppable team. Creating high-performing teams. A great team doesn't happen by accident. It's built deliberately, with a leader who understands the natural stages of team development. The stages of team development. Teams typically go through 4 stages: forming, storming, norming, and performing. In the forming stage, everyone is getting to know each other. Your role is to set clear expectations and get the team comfortable. Storming is where conflict can arise as people's personalities and ideas clash. Your role is to mediate, facilitate healthy debate, and remind everyone of the shared goal. In the norming stage, the team begins to work together, establishing clear rules and communication patterns. Your role is to reinforce positive behavior and celebrate group successes. Finally, in the performing stage, the team is working at its highest level. Your role shifts to one of support, removing obstacles and championing their work. Building team chemistry. Chemistry isn't just a buzzword. It's the feeling of mutual respect and camaraderie that makes a team a joy to be on. Encourage social interaction, celebrate personal milestones, and create opportunities for team members to get to know each other outside of a work context. Facilitating effective meetings. Meetings are often seen as a waste of time, but a well-run meeting can be a powerful tool for collaboration and decision-making. Meeting planning and structure. A meeting without a clear purpose is just a conversation. Before every meeting, define a clear objective and create an agenda with a specific timeframe for each topic. Encouraging participation. Not everyone is comfortable speaking up. You can encourage participation by asking direct questions, creating opportunities for small group discussions, and making it clear that all ideas are welcome. Keeping discussions on track. It's easy for meetings to go off topic. Your job is to gently but firmly guide the conversation back to the agenda. Use phrases like, "That's a great point. Can we revisit that after we've discussed our main topic?" Conflict resolution in teams. Conflict is a natural and necessary part of team life. A good leader doesn't avoid conflict, they learn to navigate it productively. Identifying sources of team conflict. Conflict often stems from misunderstandings, competing goals, or clashing personalities. Your first step is to get to the root of the issue. Mediation strategies. When mediating a conflict, remain neutral. Encourage each person to speak their mind without interruption, and summarize each person's perspective to ensure everyone feels heard. Turning conflict into opportunity. Conflict, when handled well, can be a powerful catalyst for growth. It can lead to a deeper understanding of team members' perspectives and a more robust solution. Cross-cultural leadership. In today's globalized world, you will likely lead or collaborate with people from different backgrounds and cultures. Understanding cultural differences. Be curious and open-minded about cultural differences in communication, time management, and decision-making. What one person sees as polite, another may see as a sign of weakness. Adapting leadership style accordingly. What works in one culture may not work in another. Be flexible and willing to adjust your style to be more effective. Building inclusive environments. Create a team where everyone feels a sense of belonging, regardless of their background. Celebrate diversity, and make it clear that your team is a place where different perspectives are valued. Remote team leadership. Leading a virtual team presents a unique set of challenges, but also offers new opportunities. Leading virtual teams effectively. Focus on clear, concise communication, and over-communicate when in doubt. Use a variety of tools to keep everyone on the same page. Maintaining connection and culture. It can be harder to build rapport remotely. Use video calls to maintain a personal connection, and schedule virtual team-building activities to keep morale high. Digital collaboration tools and techniques. Master the digital tools your team uses. Whether it's a project management tool, a chat app, or a video conferencing platform, use them to their full potential to keep your team connected and productive. Action steps, team effectiveness evaluation. For this chapter, your task is to practice one of the following team-building exercises for the next 7 days. Choose a practice that feels most challenging to you. 1. The team assessment exercise. Think about a team you lead or are a part of. What stage of development are you in? What is one thing you can do to help the team move to the next stage? 2. The meeting audit challenge. For the next week, critically evaluate every meeting you attend. Was there a clear agenda? Did everyone have a chance to speak? What could have been done differently? 3. The conflict debrief practice. If you witness a conflict, take the time to debrief with the people involved. Help them understand what happened and what they can learn from it. By taking these steps, you will not only improve the teams you are a part of but will also gain the skills to build high-performing teams in any context. Chapter 10, Leading Through Change. In the last chapter, you mastered the art of building and leading high-performing teams. But a team, no matter how strong, doesn't operate in a vacuum. The world is in a constant state of flux, and a leader's true test often comes during moments of change. Whether it's a small change in your home life or a major shift at work, your ability to navigate uncertainty and guide others through it is a hallmark of great leadership. This chapter will give you the tools to become a confident change agent. The psychology of change. Change is hard. Even when it's positive, it can feel like a loss of control. Understanding the emotional journey that people go through is the first step to helping them. Why people resist change. People resist change not because they are inherently stubborn, but because it challenges their habits, their sense of security, and their identity. The unknown can be a powerful source of fear. Your role is not to force people through change, but to guide them and address their concerns with empathy and understanding. The change curve. When people face significant change, they often go through a predictable emotional journey. It starts with denial, where they might refuse to believe the change is real. This can be followed by anger, as they feel the loss of the old way of doing things. From there, they might move to bargaining, trying to negotiate the terms of the change, and then depression, where they feel helpless. Finally, they reach acceptance, where they embrace the new reality and begin to move forward. As a leader, your role is to help people navigate through this curve as quickly and healthily as possible. Change communication strategies. During change, communication is your most powerful tool. The right message can turn fear into hope. The wrong one can create chaos. Crafting the change message. Be clear, concise, and consistent. Explain not just what is changing, but why. Connect the change to a greater vision or purpose. Don't hide the challenges, but also highlight the opportunities. Addressing concerns and fears. Acknowledge that change is difficult. Create a safe space for people to ask questions and voice their concerns without judgment. Be honest about what you know and what you don't. Transparency builds trust. Maintaining momentum through transitions. Change can be exhausting. A great leader keeps the team energized by celebrating small wins along the way. Remind everyone of the progress being made and the why behind their efforts. Personal adaptability. Before you can lead others, you must be a master of adapting yourself. People will look to you to see how you are handling the change. Staying flexible in uncertain times. A rigid mindset can become your biggest weakness. Cultivate a growth mindset that sees challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. Practice letting go of old ways of doing things. Learning agility. The world is changing faster than ever. Your ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn quickly is a crucial leadership skill. Be a student of change, always seeking new information and insights. Modeling adaptability for others. Your team will follow your example. If you are stressed, reactive, or negative about change, they will be too. If you are calm, confident, and proactive, they will follow your lead. Innovation leadership. Change isn't just something that happens to us, it's something we can create. Innovation is leading proactive change, creating something new and better. Creating an environment for innovation. The best ideas can come from anyone. Encourage creative thinking by celebrating curiosity and embracing a fail fast, learn faster attitude. Balancing innovation with stability. A good leader understands that you can't have constant chaos. You need to provide a sense of stability and structure so that people feel safe enough to innovate and take risks. Crisis leadership. In a crisis, all your leadership skills are put to the ultimate test. It's a sudden, urgent form of change that requires a different approach. Leading in emergency situations. The most important thing in a crisis is to be a calm, confident presence. Take a deep breath, assess the situation, and communicate a clear plan of action. Making tough decisions quickly. Crises often demand fast decisions with incomplete information. A crisis leader is not afraid to make a tough call, knowing that inaction is often the worst decision of all. Action steps. Change leadership readiness assessment. To prepare yourself for the next time change comes your way, choose one of the following exercises to practice this week. 1. The change story exercise. Think about a time in the past when you experienced a significant change. Write down the story of what happened. What did you learn about yourself? What could you have done differently? 2. The simulate a conversation challenge. Imagine a small change is coming to your team or family. Write out exactly what you would say to communicate the change clearly and address potential concerns. Practice saying it out loud. 3. The identify a small innovation practice. Look for a small, simple process that could be improved in your daily life or at work. Take the initiative to propose the change and see it through. By actively preparing for change, you will stop fearing it and start seeing it as an opportunity. Chapter 11. Developing Future Leaders. So far, we've focused on what makes you a great leader, from self-awareness to leading through change. But the ultimate act of leadership isn't just about what you accomplish yourself, it's about the leaders you create. A true leader's legacy isn't measured in their own success, but in the success of the people they've helped grow. This chapter will guide you on how to become a mentor, a coach, and a builder of a new generation of leaders. The leader as coach and mentor. As a leader, your role eventually shifts from managing tasks to developing people. Two of the most powerful ways to do this are through coaching and mentoring. Coaching versus managing. A manager tells you what to do. A coach asks powerful questions that help you figure out what to do yourself. A coach doesn't provide the answers, they provide the guidance to help someone find their own path. Coaching is about unlocking a person's potential, helping them solve problems and grow from within. Asking powerful questions. Instead of saying, you should do X, try asking, what do you think is the best way to handle this, or, what are a few different approaches you could take? These questions empower people, giving them ownership of their decisions and building their problem-solving muscle. Supporting others' development. Mentoring is different from coaching. A mentor shares their wisdom, experience, and network. It's a long-term relationship where you provide guidance based on your own journey. Be a resource for others, not just on work-related topics but on their personal growth as well. Succession planning. It's never too early to think about who comes next. A great leader makes themselves replaceable by building a bench of talent ready to step up. Identifying potential leaders. Look for people who show initiative, solve problems without being asked, and consistently lift up those around them. They don't have to be the loudest or the most experienced. Look for character, curiosity, and a willingness to learn. Creating development pathways. Once you've identified potential leaders, give them a roadmap. This could involve assigning them challenging projects, giving them exposure to new areas of the business, or providing them with specific training and resources. Preparing others to replace you. The ultimate sign of a successful leader is that the organization continues to thrive after they leave. Actively work to equip someone to take on your role. Share your knowledge, involve them in your decision-making, and give them opportunities to practice leadership in a safe environment. Teaching leadership skills. Leadership isn't an abstract concept, it's a set of learnable skills. As a leader, it's your job to teach them. Breaking down complex skills. Take a skill like leading a difficult conversation and break it into smaller, manageable parts. You can teach them how to prepare, what to say, and how to listen. Creating learning opportunities. The best way to learn leadership is by doing it. Create opportunities for people to practice. For example, let a team member lead a meeting, present to a senior audience, or take charge of a small project. Providing constructive feedback. Be specific and honest in your feedback. Focus on behaviors, not personality. Instead of saying, "You need to be more confident," try, "I noticed in that meeting that you had a great idea, but you hesitated to share it." Next time, try voicing your opinion earlier. Building leadership culture. A strong leader doesn't just develop a few key people, they create a culture where everyone feels they can lead from where they are. Creating systems that develop leaders. This could be a formal mentorship program, regular leadership workshops, or simply a consistent practice of giving everyone a chance to lead a part of a meeting. Encouraging leadership at all levels. Remind people that leadership isn't about a title. It's about taking initiative, influencing others positively, and being a good teammate. Measuring leadership development success. How will you know if your efforts are working? Look for signs like increased confidence in your team, more people taking ownership of their work, and a general feeling of empowerment. Your leadership legacy. Think for a moment about the leaders who had the biggest impact on you. What did they do that you remember most? Chances are, they didn't just give you a paycheck, they invested in you. What you want to be remembered for? When your time as a leader is over, what do you want people to say about you? Do you want to be remembered as someone who got things done, or as someone who helped others become better? The leaders you've helped create. The greatest legacy you can leave is not a project, a product, or a title. It's the people you've poured your time and energy into. The ripple effect of your influence will continue long after you've moved on. Action steps, mentorship action plan. This week, your mission is to practice developing someone else. Choose one of the following and put it into action. 1. The Find a Mentor exercise. Think of someone you admire for their leadership. It doesn't have to be a formal relationship. Simply reach out to them and ask for a 15-minute conversation to ask a few questions about their journey. 2. The Empower Someone challenge. Find a person who reports to you or a colleague who you work with closely. Empower them to take on a task you would normally do yourself. Give them the freedom and support they need to succeed. 3. The Give Feedback practice. In your next one-on-one conversation, focus on giving specific, constructive feedback. Highlight their strengths and suggest one small, actionable area for improvement. By taking these steps, you will not only continue to grow as a leader, but you will also begin to build your most lasting legacy. Chapter 12, Leadership at Work, Without a Title. In the last chapter, you learned that your greatest legacy is the people you help develop. Now, we'll shift our focus back to the immediate, day-to-day context of your career. In this chapter, we're going to tackle a common misconception, that you need a specific title or a management position to be a leader at work. In reality, some of the most influential people in any organization are those who lead from their chair, regardless of their official role. This chapter will show you how to build influence, navigate office dynamics, and become an indispensable leader, all without a title. Leading peers and colleagues. Your relationships with your peers are a powerful but often overlooked opportunity for leadership. Influence strategies for lateral relationships. Leadership with peers is built on respect, not authority. You can influence others by being the person who consistently delivers high-quality work, offers help without being asked, and champions the successes of others. It's about building social capital by being trustworthy and reliable. Building credibility with equals. Credibility comes from competence and character. Show that you are knowledgeable, but also that you are open to learning from others. Be a person of your word. If you say you will do something, do it. This consistency is a powerful form of leadership. Managing up effectively. Leading without a title also means influencing those above you. This isn't about manipulation, but about proactive communication. Bring solutions, not just problems. Anticipate your manager's needs, and make their job easier by being a dependable, results-oriented teammate. Project leadership. Many leadership opportunities arise from projects, where a leader's job is to rally a team of equals toward a shared goal. Leading cross-functional teams. When a project team is composed of people from different departments, no one has formal authority over anyone else. This is where your ability to build consensus, facilitate communication, and create a shared vision becomes essential. You lead by being the central hub that connects everyone and keeps the project on track. Managing without authority. This is a skill we've touched on throughout the book. It's about using persuasion, empathy, and clear communication to get things done. You can show people the value of a certain path, help them see how their individual contribution fits into the larger picture, and inspire them to work together. Delivering results through others. Your success as a project leader is measured not by your own output, but by the team's collective success. This is an opportunity to practice all of the skills we've covered so far: clear communication, emotional intelligence, and inspiring others. Workplace politics navigation. The phrase workplace politics often has a negative connotation, but in reality, it's just the dynamics of power and influence in any organization. Learning to navigate these dynamics is crucial for effective leadership. Understanding organizational dynamics. Pay attention to how decisions are really made. Who are the informal leaders? Who holds the most influence? By observing and understanding these dynamics, you can better position your ideas and contribute more effectively. Building strategic alliances. Leadership is not a solo sport. Build relationships with people across different departments and levels. These alliances can provide you with information, support, and resources you need to lead from your position. Staying authentic in political environments. The key is to be strategic without being dishonest. You can be politically savvy while staying true to your values. Your authenticity is your greatest asset. It's the source of your credibility and the foundation of your long-term influence. Career advancement through leadership. Demonstrating leadership potential is one of the most effective ways to advance your career, even if you are not seeking a management role. Demonstrating leadership potential. Don't wait for a promotion to act like a leader. Take initiative on a new project, mentor a junior colleague, or volunteer to lead a team meeting. Your actions will speak louder than any words on a resume. Taking on leadership opportunities. Actively seek out opportunities to lead. This could be volunteering for a tough assignment, organizing a team social event, or leading a presentation. These experiences are invaluable for your growth and for showcasing your potential. Building your leadership reputation. The best way to get a promotion or be given more responsibility is to already be doing the work. When people in your organization think of a leader, they should think of you, regardless of your title. Action steps: Workplace leadership opportunities audit. Take some time this week to assess how you are leading at work without a title. 1. The Influence Map exercise. Draw a simple map of your team or department. Identify the key players and decision makers. Where do you currently have influence, and where do you want to build more? 2. The Peer Feedback Challenge. Reach out to a trusted colleague and ask for honest feedback on how you can be a better teammate. Ask specific questions like, "What's one thing I could do to make our collaboration more effective?" 3. The Proactive Problem-Solving Practice. The next time a problem arises on your team, instead of waiting for someone else to solve it, take the initiative to research a few solutions and present them to your manager or team. By applying these practices, you will start to see that a title isn't a prerequisite for leadership. It's simply a recognition of what you've already been doing. Chapter 13: Leadership at Home and Community. Up until now, we've mostly talked about leadership in professional and social settings. But a huge part of your life happens outside the office, and the skills you've been building are just as vital, if not more so, in your personal world. This chapter is about applying the mindset of a leader to your family, your neighborhood, and your broader community. It's about being a positive force in the places that matter most. The skills of communication, empathy, and motivation are not just for your colleagues, they're for the people you love. Family leadership. Leadership at home is perhaps the most important form of leadership you'll ever practice. It's about setting a positive example and guiding your family toward shared goals and happiness. Leading by example for children. Children, whether they are your own or in your care, are constantly watching you. They learn what it means to be a person of integrity, resilience, and compassion from your actions. Your leadership is demonstrated in how you handle stress, how you treat others, and how you take responsibility for your mistakes. Partner/spouse collaboration. In a partnership, leadership is a shared responsibility. It's about working together, communicating openly, and making decisions that are in the best interest of both of you. It's about being a team, celebrating each other's wins, and supporting one another through challenges. Managing family decisions and conflicts. Every family faces disagreements. A good leader in this context helps to facilitate calm conversations, ensures everyone feels heard, and works to find solutions that respect everyone's needs. This is where your emotional intelligence skills truly shine. Community leadership. Leadership can also extend to your neighborhood or local community. This is where you can make a tangible difference in the world around you. Getting involved in local initiatives. Look for opportunities to contribute. This could be volunteering for a local school event, joining a neighborhood watch, or helping to organize a community garden. These acts build relationships and create a sense of shared purpose. Building community networks. A leader connects people. Introduce neighbors to each other, facilitate connections between local businesses and residents, or create a group chat to share information. By creating these networks, you're making your community stronger and more resilient. Creating positive change locally. Identify a problem you care about, whether it's a park that needs cleaning or a local charity that needs help. Take the initiative to gather a few people, make a plan, and take action. You don't need a position or a title, you just need to start. Social leadership. Your social circle also presents opportunities for leadership. This is about being the kind of person who makes the group better. Leading friend groups positively. Be the friend who brings people together, who plans a fun activity, or who simply reaches out to check on someone. You can be a leader by setting a positive tone and encouraging kindness and inclusion. Setting social standards. In any group, there are unspoken rules. You can lead by setting a standard for respectful communication, by not participating in gossip, and by defending those who aren't present. Being a positive influence in social circles. Use your influence to encourage healthy habits, to support each other's goals, and to create an environment where everyone feels safe to be themselves. Online leadership. In today's digital world, leadership can also extend to your online presence and the communities you are a part of. Digital influence and responsibility. The things you post, share, and comment on can influence others. Be responsible with your words, and remember that your online behavior reflects your values. Building positive online communities. Whether you're in a forum, a social media group, or an online game, you can be a leader by welcoming newcomers, shutting down negativity, and fostering a helpful and supportive environment. Leading conversations in digital spaces. Instead of just reacting to what you see, try to start positive and constructive conversations. Share insightful articles, ask thought-provoking questions, or offer a word of encouragement. Action steps, personal life leadership assessment. Your leadership journey is not just a professional one. This week, take a moment to reflect on how you're leading in your personal life. 1. The family goal exercise. Work with your family to set a shared goal for the week, like having a meal together every night or tackling a household project. Take the lead in creating the plan and encouraging everyone to participate. 2. The community connection challenge. This week, make a point to introduce yourself to a new neighbor, or reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while. 3. The online audit practice. Take a look at your social media or online presence. Ask yourself, does this content reflect the leader I want to be? If not, make a small change to a post or a comment to better align with your values. By practicing leadership in your daily life, you will discover that you are already making a profound impact on the people around you, right where you are. Chapter 14, Continuous Learning and Growth. In the last chapter, we explored how leadership extends to every corner of your life. Now, as we approach the final section of this book, it's time to talk about the long game. Leadership isn't a destination, it's a journey. You don't just become a leader and then stop growing. The best leaders are lifelong learners who are constantly seeking to improve. This chapter will give you a roadmap for sustaining your leadership journey, ensuring you stay curious, resilient, and effective for years to come. The learning leader. Your ability to learn and adapt is your most valuable asset as a leader. Staying curious and open-minded. The world is constantly changing. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. A learning leader approaches every new challenge with a sense of curiosity, not fear. They are open to new ideas and new ways of doing things, even if it challenges their current beliefs. Learning from every experience. Every situation, whether it's a success or a failure, is an opportunity to learn. After a project is over, take some time to reflect. What went well? What could have been better? What new skills did you develop? By asking these questions, you turn every experience into a masterclass in leadership. Seeking feedback actively. You can't see your own blind spots. That's why seeking feedback is so crucial. Instead of waiting for a formal review, proactively ask for it. Ask your colleagues, friends, and family, what's one thing I could do better? This shows that you are committed to your own growth and willing to be vulnerable. Building your leadership education. Learning doesn't just happen by accident. You have to be intentional about it. Books, podcasts, and resources. We live in an age of incredible access to information. Dedicate time each week to learning from others. Find books and podcasts on topics you're interested in, from communication to strategy to emotional intelligence. There's a wealth of knowledge out there waiting for you. Finding mentors and role models. A mentor is someone who has been where you want to go. They can provide guidance and perspective. Find a few people whose leadership you admire, and study what they do. You can even reach out to them and ask for a short conversation. Most people are honored to share their wisdom. Joining leadership communities. Find groups of like-minded people who are also on their own leadership journey. This could be a professional organization, a local meetup, or an online community. These communities provide a safe space to share your challenges, celebrate your wins, and learn from others. Self-care for leaders. You cannot pour from an empty cup. To be a sustainable leader, you have to prioritize your own well-being. Managing leadership stress. Leadership comes with its own unique stressors. Find healthy ways to manage them, whether it's through exercise, meditation, or a creative hobby. You can't lead effectively if you are constantly running on empty. Maintaining work-life integration. Instead of thinking of it as a balance between two separate things, think of it as integration. How can you live a life that allows you to be a good leader at work and a present, engaged person at home and in your community? This means setting boundaries and being intentional with your time. Preventing burnout. Burnout is a serious risk for leaders. The signs include chronic exhaustion, cynicism, and a feeling of ineffectiveness. The best way to prevent it is to listen to your body and mind, take regular breaks, and remember your why. Regular self-assessment. Your leadership journey needs checkpoints. This is how you measure your progress and make sure you're still on the right path. Quarterly leadership reviews. Schedule a quarterly leadership review with yourself. Reflect on your goals from earlier in this book. How have you grown? What have you learned? What are your biggest challenges right now? Goal adjustment and refinement. Your goals will change as you grow. Don't be afraid to adjust them. If a goal is no longer serving you, let it go. If you've learned something new, create a new goal based on that. Celebrating progress and growth. Remember to celebrate how far you've come. Leadership is a marathon, not a sprint. Taking a moment to acknowledge your growth will help you stay motivated for the long run. Action steps, personal development plan creation. Your final action steps for this chapter are all about putting your learning into a structured, actionable plan. 1. The Listen and Learn exercise. Find one new podcast, audiobook, or article about a leadership topic that you've never explored before. Listen to or read it with a notebook, and write down one new idea you can apply to your life. 2. The Feedback Funnel challenge. Choose one person you trust and respect and ask them for a piece of specific, constructive feedback. Don't just ask, "How am I doing?" Ask, "What's one thing you think I could improve on to be a better leader?" 3. The 30-day plan practice. Create a simple 30-day plan for a small area of your life where you want to grow. This could be a new daily habit, a skill you want to practice, or a new person you want to connect with. Write it down and put it somewhere you can see it every day. By committing to continuous learning, you're not just improving as a leader, you're building a life of growth, curiosity, and impact. Chapter 15, Your Leadership Action Plan. You've made it. You have journeyed through the core principles of leadership, from building the foundation within yourself to inspiring others and navigating change. We've debunked myths, practiced new skills, and learned that a title isn't a prerequisite for influence. As we enter this final chapter before the conclusion, it's time to bring all of these pieces together and create your personal roadmap. This is where you turn everything you've learned into concrete action. Putting it all together. Before you start planning, let's take a moment to reflect on the journey you've already completed. Reviewing key concepts. Think back to the major themes we've explored. The importance of self-awareness, the power of authentic confidence, the art of communication that inspires, the necessity of emotional intelligence, and the wisdom of leading without a title. These aren't just ideas, they are muscles you've started to build. Identifying your priority areas. No one can master every skill at once. So, which areas are the most important for you to focus on right now? Is it learning to speak up in meetings? Is it getting better at listening? Or is it managing stress in a healthy way? Be honest with yourself and choose one or two areas that will give you the most impact in the next few months. Creating your 90-day action plan. A 90-day plan is a powerful tool because it's long enough to see real progress but short enough to feel manageable. Define your focus. On a piece of paper or in a note on your phone, write down your 1 or 2 priority areas. For example, improve active listening skills or build confidence in public speaking. Break it down. For each focus area, list 3 to 5 specific, small actions you can take. These should be things you can do within a week. For listening, this might be, practice paraphrasing what others say, or spend 1 meeting listening without saying a word. Set a timeline. Assign a simple due date to each action. Don't overthink it. Just give yourself a target. This creates a sense of accountability. Your plan might look something like this. Focus area, improve active listening. Week 1, practice mirroring and paraphrasing in 2 conversations. Week 2, in a meeting, spend half the time actively listening without interrupting. Week 3, ask for feedback from a friend on my listening skills. Focus area, build confidence in public speaking. Week 1, practice speaking for 1 minute on a topic I know well. Week 2, volunteer to lead a small team discussion. Week 3, record myself speaking and review it for body language and tone. Overcoming implementation obstacles. A plan is just a piece of paper without the willpower to execute it. Here's how to stay on track. Common roadblocks and solutions. Life gets in the way. You'll be busy. You'll forget. The solution is to create small, manageable habits. Instead of a 30-minute meditation, try 1 minute. Instead of reading a whole book, read for 5 minutes. Consistency beats intensity every time. Staying motivated during challenges. When you feel discouraged, remember your why. Why did you pick this book up in the first place? Remind yourself of the leader you want to become and the impact you want to have. Building accountability systems. Share your goals with a trusted friend or colleague. Ask them to check in on your progress. Knowing that someone else is aware of your goals is a powerful motivator. Measuring your progress. You can't manage what you don't measure. Leadership development metrics. Don't just rely on a feeling. Create simple ways to track your growth. For example, if your goal is public speaking, track the number of times you volunteered to speak. If your goal is active listening, track the number of times you successfully used paraphrasing. Feedback collection strategies. Keep an ongoing list of feedback you receive. You will see patterns emerge. These patterns will show you what's working and what still needs your attention. Adjusting your approach based on results. Don't be afraid to change your plan. If something isn't working, try a new approach. The plan is a tool, not a rule. Action steps, complete leadership development roadmap. 1. The 90-day plan, creation. Take a few moments after this chapter ends to write down your personal 90-day leadership action plan. Pick your focus areas and your small, actionable steps. 2. The accountability partner, challenge. Reach out to one person you trust and ask them to be your accountability partner. Explain your goals and ask them to check in on your progress. 3. The first step, practice. Don't wait. Choose one small action from your plan and do it today. Right now. The journey of leadership is ongoing. It's a lifelong practice of growth, learning, and contribution. Your story as a leader is just beginning, and you are the author. Conclusion: the leader you've become. You picked up this book because you heard a whisper that leadership was about more than a title. Maybe you saw a glimmer of it in a friend, or a colleague, or a mentor, and you wanted to know if you had that same potential. And you do. I want you to think back to the person who began this journey with me. The person who maybe thought leadership was for other people. Now, I want you to look at the leader you have become. You understand that leadership begins within you. You have learned to recognize and manage your emotions, communicate with clarity and empathy, and make decisions under pressure. You have learned that your influence is not given to you, it's earned through trust, and it's built one small, authentic action at a time. Remember our school janitor? He was a leader not because of his job, but because of his character. Because he saw a problem and took action. Because he led with empathy, because he built trust, and because he served his community with an open heart. He reminds us that leadership is not a position. It is a choice. A choice to be present, to be kind, and to make a positive difference in the world around you. The skills you have developed are not just for your career, they are for your life. They will make you a better partner, a more patient parent, and a more engaged member of your community. Your journey has a ripple effect. Every time you lead with integrity, you inspire others to do the same. This book is ending, but your journey is not. It's a lifelong practice. The leadership you've developed is a gift that you will continue to refine and share. Your story is now your own, and it is a powerful one. Go out and write the next chapter. The world is waiting for the leader you have become. Thank you for listening to The Making of a Leader. If you're ready to take the next step in mastering your life, be sure to check out our last audiobook, The Intentional Hour, right here on the EchoLib channel. It's the perfect guide to help you manage your time and live a life that truly matters. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content. See you next time.